like America is about to control the energy sector in a way that the world has never been able to see, or frankly, for that matter, be able to predict. The situation with Iran is ramping up, but it's not getting to the point where it once was in terms of ballistic missiles flying everywhere. In fact, this is more of a war of attrition, and the United States under President Trump is actually winning, mostly because Iran and their allies can't seem to figure out what their plan is or what President Trump's strategy is. So buckle up, because this is a pretty fascinating video. Things did get a little bit heated earlier today, but it's working very much in the favor of the United States and for President Trump. Now, this video is brought to you by Outscale, but more on that later. We are going to start off with some poly market odds, because the world revolves apparently around no longer Vegas odds, but specifically poly market odds. Iran is now projected to surrender its enriched uranium stockpile this year. 65% chance. That is extremely bullish. And then the Iranian flagged ship that was seized by the U.S. forces Sunday was reportedly carrying items that could have military use, which gives President Trump even more authority to turn this into a not so much of a war, but kind of a war where he doesn't need Congress's approval for it to be classified a war, because it's military. It's a military operation, right? That's what he's called it. Operation Epic Fury, not a war, but kind of sort of a war. Then Iran's new president is rejecting America's peace efforts, saying that the country will not submit to the United States. The regime's leader pointed to what he calls deep historical mistrust between the U.S. and Iran. They are seeking Iran's surrender, but Iranians do not yield to force. To which then President Trump offered a major escalation warning about the situation in Iran.
So this breaking moments ago, word from President Trump. And this is what he's told another media outlet. If the ceasefire with Iran expires tomorrow, because the deadline is tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern, quote unquote, lots of bombs start going off. Bloomberg is now reporting the president says it is, quote, highly unlikely he would extend the ceasefire if a deal is not made. So this is a huge hinge and pressure point. All that as we are waiting for Vice President J.D. Vance to depart for Islamabad, Pakistan, for a second round of high-stakes peace talks with the radical Islamic regime of Iran. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner will join him in attendance. We'll bring you the very latest on what could be some peace talks coming, and special reports now.
This whole thing kind of, to me, seems like a bit of a magic trick. Just when you thought that you could kind of sort of figure out the pattern, or maybe you can analyze what's happening, boom, the whole playing field changes. It just goes in favor of the United States and of President Trump. Now, here's where it gets really interesting, because America is now controlling the world's energy sector in a way that we've never seen before. But before we get into this next part of the video, I do have a message from today's sponsor. AI is taking over, and it can be useful if you know what you're doing. Don't get left behind. Make sure that you actually try to learn what the heck AI can do. Let me introduce you to Outscale. It's an AI-focused education platform designed to help you actually apply AI in your work. And it's already impacted over 10 million people across 100 countries. And the best part, it's completely free. So you can explore, learn, and see real value. Outscale's 2-day live AI mastermind is happening this weekend, 16 hours from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard on Saturday and Sunday, designed for a global audience with a well-suited time. It condenses the experience of over 100 practitioners from companies like NVIDIA and Microsoft who have witnessed and built through the AI boom. Their main focus is to make you AI independent, to understand exhaustion gaps in AI space, and to keep you up to date, to increase your earning potential through just implementing AI. In just 16 hours, here's what you will master: building AI agents that plan, execute, and report for you, automating workflows that run even while you sleep, connecting tools like Sheets and Notions to create profitable systems, using AI to save hours every single week and get an unfair advantage at work. You will also go back with bonuses that are worth over $5,000, which includes an amazing AI prompt Bible, a personal
personalized AI toolkit builder, and even a roadmap to gain profit through AI that will top up your AI learning experience with them. Also, right now, just by registering, you'll get access to their exclusive AI survival hackbook, which itself will keep you informed about the major AI shifts happening around the world. They have a phenomenal 4.9 out of 5-star rating on Trustpilot and have impressed millions of people around the world. Just click the link down below in the description or scan the QR code on the screen and stay updated by joining their WhatsApp community before the big blast.
All right, so we have to take a look at the world's shipping of crude oil because it's no longer going to the Strait of Hormuz. All of those oil tankers are now going to fuel up with the United States, which is sending prices in the United States skyrocketing in terms of the stock market, in terms of, voter confidence, or in terms of even investor confidence. It's very, very bullish for the United States right now. Let's have a look at this video clip.
Empty oil tankers are making their way to the United States of America. 68 of those 121 vessels are very large crude carriers capable of carrying 2 million barrels apiece. President Trump has urged countries squeezed by Iran's disruption of the Strait of Hormuz to turn to American energy supplies instead. Well, it would appear perhaps they are obliging him. They are listening to Trump. The president told Fox, quote, China can send their ships to the U.S., China can send their ships to Venezuela, while also saying that empty oil-carrying ships from many nations are all headed to the U.S. to load up.
It's groundbreaking. The fact that China is sending their ships to the United States to fill up on American oil. I mean, the world is realizing that the Strait of Hormuz is no longer being fully occupied and controlled by Iran in the Middle East. And it's the United States and President Trump that is dominating the entire global energy sector. And then President Trump did take the truth earlier today to criticize the fake news media. I'm winning a war by a lot. Things are going very well. Our military has been amazing. And if you read the fake news, like the failing New York Times, the absolutely horrendous, disgusting Wall Street Journal, or the now almost defunct, fortunately, Washington Post, you would actually think that we are losing the war. The anti-America fake news media is rooting for Iran to win, but it's not going to happen because I'm in charge. Just like these unpatriotic people who used every ounce of their limited strength to fight me in the election, they continue to do so with Iran. And if I were a betting man, I would have to say, in this particular instance, it is not good to bet against America or to bet against President Trump. It really seems like even if things go sideways in the next 12 to 24 hours with the ceasefire, America is still going to come out on top. America is going to win the war of attrition because President Trump in the next 30 days is going to meet with the leader of China, and they're going to have a deal, and that's going to put pressure on Iran. So essentially, the United States has actually already kind of checkmated Iran in this entire event, this not so war of a war. And it's only going to get even worse for Iran and their allies.
It's important that we keep this conflict in perspective. American involvement in World War I lasted 1 year, 7 months, and 5 days. World War II lasted for 3 years, 8 months, and 25 days. The Korean War lasted for 3 years, 1 month, and 2 days. The Vietnam War lasted for 19 years, 5 months, and 29 days. Iraq went on for 8 years, 8 months, and 28 days. We are in this military operation, so powerful, so brilliant, against one of the most powerful countries for 32 days, and the country has been eviscerated and essentially is really no longer a threat. They were the bully of the Middle East, but they're the bully no longer. This is a true investment in your children and your grandchildren's future. The whole world is watching, and they can't leave the power, strength, and brilliance. They just can't believe what they're seeing. They leave it to your imagination, but they can't believe what they're seeing, the brilliance of the United States military. Tonight, every American can look forward to a day when we are finally free from the wickedness of Iranian.
People have been waiting for America to topple, for the United States dollar and the energy sector to become destabilized. People have waiting for President Trump to fail. And I don't know if that's actually going to happen. The United States stock market is reaching all-time highs. People are pouring money. Countries are pouring their money into the United States. Even places like Canada, which Canada's patriotism is fundamentally proud to not be American instead of proud to be Canadian. The leader there, the prime minister, soon to be governor, is going around saying, you know what, America bad, but then still making a bunch of deals with President Trump and investing money in the United States. This is how the world works. America's become almost a unstoppable power, even when you have so many countries out there that are trying to knock it down, trying to destabilize it, especially because it's President Trump. It's not working. I mean, everyone thought that this situation in Iran was doomed to fail, or, oh, how could you do this? But in fact, it's now pouring hundreds of billions of dollars into the United States economy by filling up on American oil. Was this the plan all along? Is this going to develop into a further plan? Is Trump just winging it? Is this some 5D, 6D chess, 8D, however many D chess we're on now? No one could really answer that except for President Trump himself. But the takeaway from this is that it's looking really good for the United States moving forward. And it doesn't really matter what's going to happen in the next 24 hours with Iran's ceasefire, whether they agree or not. They are getting beaten into submission. So if they don't agree in the next 24 hours to a ceasefire, they very likely will agree within the next 30 days, because America is going to be able to bleed Iran of their resources and their support from their allied countries, because everybody wants to make a deal with President Trump. Everybody wants a slice of the American pie, the American dream. And right now, it's looking really great for America. That's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hit the like, subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you guys in another one. Bye for now.